Hey, welcome back to Transform Your Life, Just Count Me In. I'm Sari, and today's episode might sound a little counterintuitive, especially under this new Leo moon, a time where astrologically we should be playing. It's known for boldness and expression. But to be honest with you, right now, I don't feel like doing anything. And I'm realizing maybe that's not only okay. Maybe it's exactly what I need. So if you've ever felt the tug to rest, but also the guilt that tags along with it, this episode is for you. If you've ever felt the pull of ambition and it's created exhaustion, I would say you're probably going to get something out of this. So let's take a look. In this episode, we're going to explore the beauty, the resistance you may have to it, and the science of rest, why it's essential, and how it actually may be the portal to your next level of creativity and healing. So there is a science of stillness. When we rest, the brain activates the default mode network, the DMN, and that area in our brain is linked to insight. It's linked to self-reflection, emotional processing, regulation of emotions, and problem solving. Neuroscientist, I know Dr. Andrew Huberman is famous for this now, explains that rest helps consolidate learning and strengthens neuroplasticity. And that, in short, allows your brain to integrate new information and make some new connections. I know as a teacher, we told the kids, study right before you go to bed and your brain is going to be resting for a while, or study and then do what you'd go for a run, do your activity for a while. Don't think about it, just move your body, because it actually helps to lock information in. Rest also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the healing rest and digest state, and this shift improves heart health, immune function, hormonal regulation, and emotional balance. Doing nothing isn't laziness. It's deep internal maintenance. So let's be honest, doing nothing might sound good in theory, but today, when I chose to just go and sit at the beach and just be where I was and rest, when I really had quite a list of things I wanted to get done and would normally get done on a Friday, it was a little hard. I felt initially good, and then I started to feel a little bit restless. So doing nothing is good in theory, but in practice, many of us get restless, anxious. Some of us feel guilty. So why is that? Why is that? First of all, there's a cortisol addiction in our society, which you've probably been hearing a lot about. And in a world that praises productivity, our brains get hooked on the buzz of cortisol. We move fast, check off lists, and live in a state of mild fight or flight. Over time, this becomes familiar. And when we stop, the body experiences almost a kind of withdrawal. We confuse calm with boredom or danger. So I'm going to say that again. We often misread what calm is and think it's boredom or danger. We aren't actually wired for stillness. We have to practice it to get good at it. So our nervous systems might not actually trust stillness. And I can't think of a person who didn't grow up around some type of chaos, some type of unpredictability or pressure to achieve. If you know anybody like that, send them to me, because I would like to interview them on this podcast. But if you grew up around any of that or lived through the COVID period, your system may not see rest as safe. Instead, rest can kind of trigger an unconscious fear response. Like, if I'm not doing, I'm not enough, or if I'm not doing, what's going to happen? And here's the truth. Stillness is actually safety, and stillness can be relearned. Rest isn't weakness. It's like a sacred reset button. We have a lot of cultural and capitalist conditioning, and not to disrespect either of those, just part of these don't work. So work first and rest later is one of them. And then there's fear of missing out, which we've all had. Our value is so often tied to output. And so what do you ask people? What have you been doing, right? What have you been doing? Not how have you been? Wouldn't it sound a little different if you're like, what have you been being? We celebrate hustle and treat burnout just like it's a big badge of honor. There are people that actually compete in some other countries about needing less sleep. And I mean, some of them, there's an epidemic. Some of these men in Japan are dying on trains from sheer exhaustion. And it's a sign of them taking care of things and them working hard. And it's almost a sign of, we almost give respect for people who are stressed and burnt out and on their phones constantly. And I don't go that way anymore. It just wasn't working for me. Rest isn't indulgent. It's reclaiming our own rhythm. Rest is return to yourself. This new moon in Leo may be inviting you to shine inward and come back to your heart's rhythm and get off your calendar a little bit. Leo rules the heart, but when you think about it, and what does the heart do? It beats and it rests. Both are essential. We even track our resting heart rate now, which I didn't even know what that was when I was growing up. So maybe your playfulness in this moon might not be about performance. It might just be about presence. I coach a lot of young people, and varying from third grade all the way up through college, and then some of their parents. There has not been one of them that we haven't had at least one session about this, about the feeling of stopping or this mild anxiety that they get when they have to stop. And it's not happening for them anymore. They're really comfortable just saying, not even making up a story or making up an excuse. No, I need to just chill out today. Or I need some time to myself today. Or I'm not going to do that today, if they can have that choice. And they've proven time and time again that the more we do this, the funny thing about this is the day that I wrote this podcast, I went to the beach and did nothing, and literally just was totally present with where I was, didn't really interact with anybody for 2.5 hours, and just fed that part of me that needed to just float, swim, and lay in the sun. After that, remarkably, all of a sudden I got motivated to do all kinds of things when I got home, and I'm still very motivated today. So it can happen that when we replenish ourselves and we give into what we're actually feeling, it fills us up. And the other side of it is we then rediscover energy for new things because we've conserved. Rest is a sign of power, not weakness. So I looked up some stories of inspiration from rest, and I know that doing nothing, Seinfeld, he wrote the whole scripts for his show where it was a show about nothing. And that just cracks me up. He does have a meditation practice, by the way. He does nothing a couple times a day. He meditates for like an hour. But his show was about nothing in particular. And look at how well it did. Albert Einstein, known for his brilliant theories, often created his insights doing nothing, taking long walks, sailing, just thinking. Lin-Manuel Miranda got the idea for Hamilton while he was on vacation, reading a biography just for fun. Without that break, there would have been no spark. Wayne Dyer spent a lot of time at his apartment where he wrote in Maui. He could look out over the beach, and he went for long walks on the beach, got a lot of time to himself. And without those breaks and without that withdrawal from stimulation, there probably would not be as many books as there are, because he fed his soul when he did that and then had more space to express. Arianna Huffington, after she collapsed from exhaustion, built Thrive Global, And that redefines success and includes well-being, wisdom, and wonder. Things that were not even in the conversation when I was in school. So creativity is not always found in movement. And as a person who likes to move around a lot, I'm a pretty antsy person, and I danced for 14 years. I love to exercise. I do yoga, but sometimes inspiration waits for stillness. It can wait for stillness of your body, and it can be stillness of your mind. Questions you could ask yourself are, what comes up for me emotionally when I think about doing nothing? What would it feel like to deeply rest without guilt? Can I even imagine that? Where in my life have I received insight or clarity after I paused? And if I trusted that rest was productive, how would I spend today? What message might my body or spirit be trying to send me right now? And I know personally speaking, when I was working with my coach about 15 years ago, she noticed a pattern that I had, and it was that I would get sick when I overdid. And I really needed to rest and really needed for everything to just stop. I really just wanted everything to stop so that I could just lay there and drink tea and just be. And she said, you do this and it's your pattern. I was pretty annoyed when she said it, but she said, you actually create the space to stop because you go, and then when you stop, you sleep. You don't have that built-in play or built-in rest time for nothingness in there. So you can look at that in your own life and see whether you have any of these patterns. Do you feel safe to pause? Here are some affirmations that I came up with that you can try this week. I give myself permission to rest, knowing it's sacred. My clients actually wrote themselves a permission slip. I got that idea from someone last year, and I liked her idea. So I said, what do you need to write yourself a permission slip to do? My value is not in what I do, but who I am. It's a tough one. And it's getting easier. Resting is revolutionary and restorative. Doing nothing opens me to everything. I am safe to pause because I'm aligned with life's rhythm. So I'm going to ask you if you want to get in a space and you have a little bit of time to do this guided meditation. If not, you can stop now and come back to it at a time when you can just be still. Okay, for those that are staying, find a quiet place and settle into a comfortable position. Close the eyes down. Feel that space behind your eyes and just let your eyes release in their sockets. If you're laying down, just imagine the back of your head just relaxing and more space in your neck. Close your eyes or keep them focused at something lower down on the ground if you wish. You don't have to close your eyes when you go in. And inhale gently through your nose. Hold at the top and release. Inhale slower through your nose. Hold at the top and release. Pause at the bottom. 3 more times through the nose, filling up, feeling the layers of tension just go out of you with this exhalation. Breathing in. Feeling your muscles relax. Tension drain out of your jaw, your throat. Exhaling. And hold at the bottom and just fill yourself with peace. One more big breath in. And you can sigh it out. Feel the light a couple 100 feet above your head. And you can even look up or roll your eyes up if they're closed down. And feel that light just wash over you. Let it just cascade inside your body, all around your body. With your hand on your heart, I want you to thank your heart first. It's been beating and taking care of things since you were about 8 weeks inside your mom, so a very long time. And it does rest. On the inhale, say inwardly, I am here. On the exhale, now. Let your body soften. Let your thoughts just drift like clouds. And you can have thoughts. If a to-do list pops in, just say thank you and let those clouds keep moving. And return to your breath. Just for this moment, how would it be if I let go of needing to fix or figure anything out? Just rest in your own presence and rest in your own power. You're not missing anything. You're actually receiving. What if this is easier than I ever thought it would be? Stay here as long as you can. And when you're feeling ready, return. And open your eyes. And be aware of the space where the air touches your skin. And if you're outside, you can pull your thoughts to the horizon or as far as you can see. If you're inside, pull your energy to the corners of the room. And you know what the four corners look like in the room. And just take a moment here and rest as awareness. Resting as awareness is a very powerful practice. Notice what shifted for you. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will subscribe to the podcast because that helps. Leaving a comment would be great. It's a two-way street, and I really like hearing from you. And please take a look. I started a landing page. It's a work in progress, but you can sign up for an email list there if you choose. If not, no big deal. I'll see you again. Please forward this to someone who might need a break or someone who has a rest imposed upon them. Let's say I know somebody who's recovering from a knee surgery right now and he's pretty anxious that he's not doing anything, and I think this would be perfect for him because doing nothing is actually good right now. So until the next time, remember, doing nothing is okay. Just count me in.